What's the vibes of this Steelers team after 2 preseason games? Big Deek news. It seems like this decision to go with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback is already paying off for the Steelers. It's aging pretty well, and we're not even at the regular season just yet. We're only 2 preseason games in. But if you look at the landscape of the league and the other options that we discussed, like bringing back Justin Fields or trading for Matt Stafford, not looking so hot over there. Justin Fields struggling with the Jets. Matt Stafford, we don't even know if he's going to be playing in the regular season. Once week 1 comes around, if he's going to have to sit out some of these early regular season games. He's been hurt. He's been out all training camp and offseason for the Rams. Could you imagine if the Steelers traded for Matt Stafford, traded, a second-round pick, maybe multiple picks, and we're paying him $40, $50 million? I don't remember exactly what his contract is off the top of my head. But could you imagine? Do all that, and he's hurt, and we don't even know if he's going to be ready for week 1. We'd be pretty pissed off. And then Justin Fields, yeah, man, struggling with the Jets, not looking good. But I think we could have predicted that with him going to New York. I think it could have been a different story if he came back here because he looked good last year. 4-2, it looked like he took a really big step in the right direction of being a professional quarterback in the league. But this is the Steelers organization. We do have better structure. We do have a better foundation, whereas that's the Jets. And you saw what a guy like Aaron Rodgers did with the Jets and how that kind of derailed his career a little bit for a minute. But instead of having Fields back, instead of trading for Matt Stafford, we have Rodgers here, and by all accounts, everything's been smooth sailing in training camp. Dude looks like his former self, still got the cannon, showing good leadership, being a good teammate. Completely bought into the Steelers culture. And we're paying him less than Fields. And we're paying him less than Stafford. Didn't have to give up any draft picks to get him. In fact, he took even less money than what the Steelers initially offered by reports. Steelers were willing to go like 20-something million. And Rodgers, being a man of his word, and what he said on McAfee, he said it's not about the money at all. I'll play for $10 million. Took a little bit more than that, this 1-year, $13 million contract. And any extra money he's making on top of that is all based off team incentives in the playoffs, plus the MVP. So Rodgers gets it. He knows what's up. He knows what the standard is here. He knows what needs to be done. So safe to say, when you look at what the Steelers could have done compared to what we have going right now, they really did make the best decision. Rodgers versus Fields versus Stafford has a very good chance of being the best quarterback of the 3 in the regular season, and we are paying him less than the other 2. I mean, you want to talk about a deal, you want to talk about a good business decision, I mean, it's bringing in Aaron Rodgers. And it's, like I said, we're not even at the regular season, but I think we're seeing how this is going right now. Rodgers stock up. Fields, Stafford, not so much. Now, I did a rewatch of this second preseason game. I have some new takes to add, some takes to apologize for, some takes to adjust. So we're going to do that. If you guys didn't know, I tried live streaming at the game, like during the game, and it just, I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibes because it's like you're trying to live in both worlds and you can't do either 100%. It's either you got to be locked in on the virtual world or you got to be locked in on the real world. And doing that, it was just trying to do a mix of both. And I think it was worth the try. I don't think it'll be something I do again. I thought it would be a good idea. But that's what, in my opinion, the preseason was for me, especially at this point in what I'm doing. I'm trying to experiment a little bit, work with new content, have different ideas. And I didn't think it worked out. I think it fell flat. So we cut the stream short. And I was able to watch the rest of the game and just like kind of chill with my friends. But I did do my post-game report, and that's the other thing. It's like I did the post-game report, but it didn't get uploaded till probably like a couple hours after. I apologize for that. The service was just so bad. So that's another thing I got to think about a little bit too. But there are some adjustments to make on my takes that I had. I got to apologize. I'm actually embarrassed about one of them, and it's not this one. Bring back Kenny. Is it time for the old 8 to learn from the new 8? But instead, this one. Kaleb Johnson, it's just like bruh, we're expecting more. At this point, I get it, it's preseason still, but we would see something. We would see something from you that would give us optimism, that would say like, oh, he's got the talent. Like, this is, it's gonna happen at some point, right? And I don't know. I gotta say, after rewatching the game, Kaleb Johnson ran pretty good. In fact, I'll go as far as to say I was impressed. Like, he actually did show me something. So what went wrong with my post-game take? Well, I didn't see all of Kaleb Johnson's runs. And the ones that I did see, it was the ones that weren't so good. I didn't see the explosiveness in stadium and all that stuff. And then I rewatched. I'm like, whoa, when did that happen? When did that run happen? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing some things. Maybe it was the White Claws. Maybe I was distracted. Maybe I was all over the place. I was talking to people. Who knows? Maybe that was it. Because the ones that I saw from Kaleb Johnson, I think it was like the outside run where he got stopped. It was the ones where he didn't get like too many yards. I was thinking his stat line at the end of it was going to be like 7, 8 runs, 20 yards, 21 yards. But upon further review, after seeing the rewatch, yeah, Kaleb Johnson looks like the Kaleb Johnson I was seeing out of Iowa. Now, he did have like another misstep or two, it seemed like, with the blocking and knowing where to be and that type of stuff. Again, I'm not worried about that at all. That's just going to come with experience. The stuff that you just need to know if you got it or not, I felt like after this second preseason game, Kaleb Johnson is going to have it, and Kaleb Johnson's just going to be fine from a talent and like explosiveness standpoint, as we predicted with him coming out of Iowa. So, good for Kaleb Johnson. Small deke energy for me with that atrocious take post-game. Apologies. Other rookie that started to turn the corner in a positive direction was Derrick Harmon. Had the sack early in the first half. Just looked like what Derrick Harmon's supposed to look like. And what was cool, too, is it was a bull rush. Harmon's game seems a little bit more finesse at times. Like, he's a little bit more of a technician, versatile guy. Less about just the overall power. That was more of Kenneth Grant's game coming out in the draft. But to see him just push that dude back into the quarterback, ultimately get the sack, finish the job, was a good thing to see. The combination of him, Y.A. Black, hopefully Cam Hayward coming back, and Keanu Benton, Daniel Quala. That should be a formidable interior on the defensive line. And that's the thing, too, with these preseason games. Like Kaleb Johnson, Derrick Harmon, we're expected to see have impact and have a role in the regular season. A lot of these other guys, it's like probably not going to see, if we're going to be honest. So it's tough to have these grand assessments on what the Steelers team is going to look like in the regular season based off these couple preseason games. We had 22 guys sitting out, and the majority of those guys were starters, guys that are going to have roles. So Derrick Harmon with some of the guys that he was playing with, it's like, we don't even know what Derrick Harmon could be with Cam Hayward next to him and an Alex Highsmith next to him and a TJ Watt next to him. Like, if he's doing stuff like that, nice. But, man, it could even be better at the regular season. So those people that are doomsdayers, that are saying offense is going to suck, Aaron Rodgers too old, and the defense is too washed as well, too many old names. It's like, how can you be doing that off of preseason? Now, maybe some of those takes aren't preseason related. If you've been feeling that way, you've probably been saying that months ago. It's maybe less about these preseason games. I feel like there are some people, though, that are, these 2 preseason games are saying that we're going to suck in the regular season. I don't understand that. I came from a day and age when preseason games, you didn't even talk about them. You didn't even care about them. But now we have a 24/7 news cycle, the media, the content. It's always bumping. You got to get stuff out there. I just think those takes are asinine and egregious. So if you're a doomsdayer about the Steelers season, and we still haven't even seen Rodgers and the majority of the starters just yet, and granted, even if we saw them in the preseason, it's preseason, bro. It's preseason. You're going up against vanilla schemes. You ain't even trying to show everything that you got. It's just about getting in rhythm, getting the timing, getting the familiarity, back to being like in stadium. That's all it's about. So are we going to see Rodgers? Are we going to see some of these guys in the 3rd preseason game? I hope not. I don't think it does us any good. The risk ain't worth the reward, especially even after seeing too the Panthers aren't going to be playing any of their starters in this third preseason game. So what are we doing? Are we really going to put Rodgers out there, DK out there, starters on the offensive line? We're going to put them out there against the Panthers second team and expect that to make us feel so much better, so much more in unison heading into week 1. No, come on. A couple other notes. Just talking about Kaleb Johnson. Lou Nichols, I got to give him his props. Because I feel like I kind of poo-pooed his first preseason game and was saying, he did good, but come on. We're 35. Who's this number 35? We're not even going to see him. Like, he's getting cut anyway. This isn't a big deal. But then shows up again in this one. You give him the rock. I'm seeing playmaking. I'm seeing good things every time he gets the ball. Can catch passes out the backfield. There was one, he was dumped. It was dumped off to him, and he caught the ball, took a big hit, but gained 5 or 6 yards. Like, that was just a little thing, but obviously had the big time run. It seems like every time he gets the ball, he's falling forward, has explosiveness, has some playmaking. So I wonder if there's a Jaylen Warren-esque element with Lou Nichols where we look at him and we say, it's like we can't afford to not have him on the roster. The problem is with him is there's too much depth ahead of him in that running back room with Kaleb Johnson, Kenneth Gainwell, and Jaylen Warren. Whereas with Jaylen Warren at the time, whenever he came in as an undrafted rookie free agent, it was Najee. But then after that, we didn't have a number 2. It was Najee, and then it was like Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland. I can't remember if there was another name at the time too, but a bunch of unproven dudes that we weren't feeling that great about. So Jaylen Warren carved out the rule for himself, and then he's ran with it ever since. It might be hard for Lou Nichols to actually gain any headway into that running back room. Because if we brought him in, if we kept him around, he'd be the 4th guy, but then you're wondering whenever the regular season comes around, how many snaps is he actually going to get? Is it worth having a Lou Nichols on the roster versus maybe an extra cornerback or an extra defensive lineman that may actually get snaps, may actually give us some special teams work? So it's going to be tough for Lou. But I thought he was worth highlighting upon watching the game again. Rock Taylor. A lot of people are high on Rock Taylor. It seems like he keeps making plays. Could have had more if it wasn't for that pass interference. I thought he could have had that touchdown, though. He didn't reach out enough to get it. But he beat his guy 2 times on those verticals. And like I said, the first one, that was pass interference. That could have been something added to his stat sheet. But that second one, I feel like he could have had, but still made plays with some underneath throws, some more intermediate throws. Caught the ball. And honestly, I kind of want to see him earlier. I think we started to see him too late in the game. Can we get him in there maybe in the second quarter? And then Brandon Johnson. Isn't this like the second or third preseason stint that he's had with us? But every time. It's not even just this preseason. It's every preseason with him. Catches the ball when thrown to him, makes plays, has impact on the game. And in this one, caught the touchdown, had the pass interference down the field that got us down into the red zone, got us down into the goal line. So if we're talking about that, like last receiver, maybe Rock Taylor, maybe Robert Woods. I feel like Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson solidified their spots. So we're looking at, in the receiver room, DK, Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, and then Scotty Miller, Robert Woods, Rock Taylor, Brandon Johnson, Ben Skoranek. Maybe 2 or 3 of those names make it. Why not Brandon Johnson? I'm posing the question. If we're talking about Rock Taylor potentially being the 6th guy, I think Brandon Johnson has a case as well. Christian Kuntz got injured. Herbig got injured as well, but it looks like both of those aren't anything big time, and we'll be seeing them week 1. They'll be healthy and ready to go. But in the meantime, the Steelers are looking at long snappers for game 3 or preseason game 3. Understandable. And Herbig, he was just brought out more due to precaution because he suffered a hamstring, which isn't good, but the way Tomlin described it is like, if we needed him next week, if he needed to even stay in the game, he could still go. But, yeah, definitely with those hamstring injuries, those soft tissue injuries, you don't want to mess around with them. I think that's it. Overall, like, assessment of the game, I think we had better defensive pressure in this one. Defense was just flat out right better, even though we were getting carved up. in the first half by Teddy Bridgewater. Like the secondary was a little bit worse, but I think we did get better defensive pressure, and then obviously we tightened up in the second half. The run blocking, though, I still don't think it's completely there. We have it in spurts, which is why you saw some of those explosive runs, but there's other times where Kaleb Johnson, Nichols was running into brick walls and couldn't really do much with it. But that's, again, one of the reasons I was liking Nichols. Whenever there wasn't much there, he's still falling forward, gaining an extra like 2 or 3 yards for us. Quarterback play was so-so overall. Mason had the pick. Skylar Thompson had the pick, but that wasn't really on his fault. And then Logan Woodside at the end, absolutely egregious pick that lost us the game. But if you're talking about what it means for the regular season, we're not going to see Mason Rudolph. We're not going to see Skylar Thompson. We're not going to see Logan Woodside throwing the ball. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. So, like, not too much to, like, take away there and really make projections for the future. But, you know, we can only react to the game at hand, and that's another thing I observed. Guys early on, though, that are expected to do good, did good. And I wanted to highlight them. Juan Thornhill, Chuck Clark, Cole Holcomb. Well, maybe not as much Cole Holcomb with him coming off the injury and the rust and everything, but he looked all right preseason game 1. He looked even better game 2. So maybe Holcomb and Peyton Wilson had some of his struggles there. He wasn't exactly what we were hoping. Now, the coverage was good on that touchdown, but didn't really locate the ball too well. Yeah, you just wonder, Holcomb being the third guy, is it going to be more of a rotation with him and Peyton Wilson? Is Peyton Wilson really all the way there yet, ready to take that leap year 2? Because when we've seen Holcomb, when he's been healthy, Holcomb was good. Holcomb was really good. That combination of him and Quan Alexander, I was loving a couple years ago. You just wonder if he's going to be able to return to form. Maybe there is something to be said for getting him on the field and limiting Peyton Wilson's snaps and having a rotation between the two. But I think that's it for today's show. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And, yeah, I guess quick turnaround. Preseason game on Thursday. But, yeah, we'll have the content the next couple of days up until then. I'm going to decide on what I'm going to do for that preseason game. It's away. Might go live for it. Might go live after. We'll see. Either way, there will be content. So stay tuned for that. Stay chilling. Peace.